Welcome back to File Under Fire, a wrestling review podcast. My name is Brady. I'm your host, joined as always by Dom.
I have information that will lead to the arrest and outing of all personnel linked to the Bikini Bottom and Krusty Krab money laundering scheme and operation.
You heard it here first, folks.
And
How about you?
Damn, is that what Mr. Krabs is up to? Is money laundering?
Yes, when I went to go smoke, I thought of that. That's what I thought of.
that's
The
that's
money laundering
amazing.
scheme at the Krusty
That's the
Krab.
Krusty Krab, yeah.
No wonder he gets so fucking pissed off at SpongeBob. He's
Yeah,
got a lot of stress.
yeah.
Dude.
SpongeBob's probably almost like figuring it out. Like
SpongeBob still
SpongeBob, me
hasn't
boy.
getting them outed, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna blow it.
100%. He's gonna blow it.
For a second, I was
Remember
like,
the
are there?
one where they thought they killed the guy?
Yeah, with the shitty ass burger.
Yeah.
That
Oh man.
shit makes me laugh.
Dude, or the it's crazy how many of the like quotable moments of this is not at all wrestling related. It's fine.
Guys, can we talk
The-
about SpongeBob instead of wrestling, guys? Guys, I think SpongeBob is hilarious.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
SpongeBob
crazy
is
how
funny.
many of the like really quotable episodes are in the first like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like Krusty Krab pizza is in the first like 10. Like the driving school one where
My favorite
where
is the
it's
one where he learns to cuss.
Yeah,
what?
They're
the
just bleeping
dolphin.
everything.
The
Yeah.
dolphin noise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Not something I grew up watching, but like we had testing last week at school, like standardized testing, and so after shit like that, I'll like let the seventh graders and stuff watch it. That's most of my exposure to SpongeBob, but I'm always laughing my ass off.
He is
Dude,
funny.
Yeah, it's funny as fuck.
if you turn on like I'm 24 years old. If you turn on SpongeBob right now, I'm never gonna be upset about it.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. I think I like it more than they do. But they know every damn word, dude. Like I have kids in there that literally know like
Yeah,
every word.
we all like my generation and younger have all just grown up, and like especially now, that's like most of what Nickelodeon's programming is just SpongeBob. Like
Could be worse.
people always make the joke about MTV being just ridiculousness. Nick TV is just SpongeBob. Um, Speaking of SpongeBob, much like that on this wrestling podcast, we are talking people who are going to show up in some weird promotions today. This is a an idea, a theme that I kind of been wanting to do for a little while now, probably since
And we
like the.
could do 20 of these, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we could do
It's a
so
fun one.
many. Um, we this is one I've been wanting to do because yeah, sometimes you see a name that pops up and you're just like, man, that guy doesn't make sense here. Uh, Abby presented a list of like probably like 20 that he was thinking about bringing um, before he finally landed on his match. We didn't necessarily give like guidelines for it. We didn't. I don't know. That's a lot of work to figure out like
Uh-huh.
if
It ain't that
if
serious either.
yeah, it ain't that serious. So like if a guy does a tour with someone, but it's a company that doesn't really make sense, which is kind of what Abby's match is, or a guy gets brought in, or just a guy wrestling for a company that you would think he should have wrestled for a lot more, which I think is the case for Dom's match.
Yeah, that was actually surprising to me when
Yeah,
I
there's
looked that he hadn't, because it seems like a good fit.
Yeah,
yeah,
right. It does seem like somewhere he would work a lot
a
often.
lot more, or even still since, and he has yet to. So, um, to kind of wrap that part up, right? Like it's not strict. It's not anything real specific. It's just a guy in a weird place. And I think to start, we're gonna go with Abby's match. It is Dick Togo versus Atlantis in Michinoku Pro 8/26/2003.
This is a good
Atlant-
match.
yeah, Atlantis and Michinoku Pro does feel very weird.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's a lucha wrestling promotion, but
right.
Atlantis he hasn't really. I mean, like some of those guys have been in Japan frequently. He has not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and like if you look at his cage match, he does wrestle like he wrestles a tour for Michinoku Pro, and this is like kind of one of the last dates he does on this tour.
It's a tournament, and then he wins the tournament
Yeah,
on his yeah.
which I do want to talk about it after this match. Some of his results that were really confusing me. But we'll get to that after we kind of talk through this match here. This match is for their junior heavyweight title. Dick
And Dick
Togo,
was the first champ.
yeah, he's the
So
inaugural
yeah.
champ. This title still exists today. Like there's still an active holder of this title, and crazy looking title design too. It confused the
Yeah.
hell out of me when I looked at it.
Some great wrestlers have held this one.
Kind of a weird. I don't know if this is necessarily an episode through line, but at least a through line from Aubie's match to my match. Great Sasuke is in Atlantis' corner, like he is his corner guy. Do you know who is in Togo's corner?
I think
Masao
it's.
Orihara.
That's Orihara with all the tattoos.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a cool
Yeah.
ass look.
Yeah, he
Is
looks
there
crazy as hell in this one.
is there also babyface Ikaro Hadaka at one point?
Yes, and he is also in Brady's match.
Yes.
'Cause
That
he's
was
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishikawa.
Yeah. There's a couple crazy through lines, I guess. Um,
There's
like
nothing to mine. There's no through lines in my match. We don't even gotta try.
yeah. Listen,
There's
your
some
matches.
damn lines
There's
in it, probably.
Yeah.
yeah, there's some lines in one of the guys' beards.
Yeah.
um, the match starts off pretty like traditionally, right? It's a lot of like
Wrist control, but they do. It's good.
yeah,
It's
it's
good.
all really good technical
Two
work.
great wrestlers, obviously.
When this match really like kicks into gear, no pun intended, is when Dick Togo like donkey kicks Atlantis in the dick. That is
Yeah,
really
he gets 2 dick shots in pretty quick.
yeah, he does. He kind of poses himself over the corner, and the ref kind of comes over to like check on him, and Atlantis goes over to grab him, and he just swings that leg back and takes him to him. That there is some submission holds that I don't think we can say the name of that
Definitely not. I don't
Atlantis
want to
puts
try.
on.
Oh well,
Um,
the Manji Gatame, right? That's another through line. Your guy does a Manji
Oh
Gatame.
yeah,
Yeah,
he does
we'll
modify
leave it at
that
that.
though.
But that has a different meaning in Japan. It's not like
Yeah,
the
we don't gotta
massive
say the other
clutch.
name. We don't gotta say the other name. I was just about to think.
I did
Something
have to
different.
I was watching it while I was taking notes with some friends, and I did have to explain why they said what they said on
Yeah,
commentary, and also why it was named that.
yeah. DDT had a whole ass show.
Oh,
The
like a dedicated to him?
No, they had I guess the closest equivalent would be like I always say it wrong. Is it Monday Magic? The Noah shows?
Oh yeah, the like ones with
DDT
like
had a show that was like very similar to that. Um, that didn't last long, and it was actually really awesome. It was called Maji Manji, and like the
Hmm.
logo had a
yeah.
swastika in it.
Ah.
Shawarma.
Yeah.
But again, it
Yes.
just means like good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's not like
it does mean something else, and it's
Atlantis was not.
traditional.
Yeah,
Well, I think he's throwing like it's the luchador's submission move.
yeah. Also, they have dudes named like El Nazi and shit. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
yeah,
that's his move. Is
yeah.
he does that. Anyway, so yeah, he kicks him in the dick, and then that's whenever he like rolls him over and he rips Atlantis' mask. And I wrote this in my notes and I sent it to you guys, which is I love when a luchador does more for ripping their mask than their opponent. Like
He's probably
it's
got
Mm-hmm.
more experience.
He was helping
Like,
him out.
yeah, like Dick is kind of just like got his fingers in the eye hole, and he's like pulling, and then like Atlantis just like pulls that sucker down, and he just like got it open. Great mask grip too. And
Oh, it's
from the
perfect. Yeah, you see just enough.
yeah, you and then they make their way over to like out of the ring, make their way over this trailer or like a box truck that is in the corner of the warehouse that they are in for this match. I don't. Is this like a regular like venue from Michinoku Pro or
I have
wrestling in
no
general?
idea, man. This era of Michinoku Pro is like not super well documented.
I
Uh,
can tell.
like on cage match or obviously like on tape. Um, it's possible. I mean, Michinoku Pro is like the first indie to not be based out of Tokyo, so
Hmm.
they ran all over.
Wherever they could,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I think it's a
Um,
very cool venue look. Also, like yeah, I think it
it
looks
it
nice.
is, yeah. It does create a good ambiance, and honestly, having the truck in the corner that they could end up using, I think does really help.
yeah, and then he
And
can duck behind it and blade.
yeah, so he Dick Togo throws Atlantis into it and then hits him overhead with a chair, and then
Nails him.
he makes his way behind the trailer so that way he can blade. And I think Sasuke is the one who hands him the blade too. Because like you see
Yeah, he comes
Sasuke
over
kind
with
of
the towel.
come over to him, so I figure he probably hands him the blade. Not somehow not the most obvious blade job we will see on this week's episode. Um,
I
and
thought Dick Togo got busted open on a tope, but I got worked.
no,
I'm a mark.
no,
Oh, he may have. He may have because he bleeds. I think he bleeds
he
more than
He does bleed a
Lantes
lot.
does. Yeah, he bleeds crazy.
yeah, once like dude, the way I will say like the way once Atlantis is like broken open, the way that like Togo kind of throws them around for a while before they get back in the ring, I love the way like once they get in the ring, the way that like Dick kind of dominates him with
Oh, that
all the
control
like
segment is
rest
awesome. He
holds.
he hits some
Yeah,
crazy sentons and he really
Mm-hmm.
wrenches him in the holds. They do a
dude,
sleeper thing where there's like a ton of struggle that's really good. And
that like
Atlantis has some
slingshot
cool hope
senton,
shot. Oh, the slingshot senton, he like
he
floats,
like
man.
does a handstand on the fucking like on the rope on the way over. Oh,
Is this the
that
sequence that has Atlantis hit a stunner, basically?
yeah, at the end of it, that's how he gets out of
Okay. I
the
had to
like rear
write that
face lock.
down. I had to write that down because I thought it was so fucking funny. Atlantis
Yeah,
stunner.
he gets out of the rear face lock with the basically just a stunner. Yeah, it's not like a full stunner, but he does kind of like half stand up and then just like busts his
He does the
chin.
drop to
Yeah,
his ass
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Mr.
The
Awesome.
chin breaker, I think, is what they used to
Yeah,
call that when
yeah.
people would get out of a sleeper with that move. But like
Hmm.
that. The Dick Togo control segment is really great, of course, because he's fucking Dick Togo. Um, but Atlantis has some really cool hope spots with like some roll ups and shit.
Now Atlantis has some pretty
Yeah.
stiff, mean offense in this. Like he has
Yeah,
some
Oh
nice
yeah.
lines, like hitting the corner. It's
yeah,
dope. It's very nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then once he like he hits a huge back body drop to Togo to the floor to kind of like start the
Yeah,
comeback, and
it's awesome.
then he returns the favor of the crowd ass whooping and throwing him into the chairs and shit. And that's
Yeah.
where Togo gets busted and there's like blood
Yeah.
all over the floor.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why I
so
can't tell if he gets
he
busted open hard way on the tope because it looks like they head to head, or
he
if he like blades after the chair shot. I keep cutting this motherfucker off. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. He throws him into the trailer and then he goes over and he's like laid down on the corner. And you kind of see Atlantis like go over and like argue like he like kind of goes to look at him and like he argues with the ref for a minute, kind of like stalling almost.
Okay,
And
okay.
I think that's when Togo is blading. Um, because then there's like a pretty big pool. Not like a big pool. I shouldn't say it like that. It's not like there's a giant puddle, but like there's a bunch of drops on the floor, and then he kind of rams his head into the door that's right there, and you get a good blood splatter on
Yeah,
that as
it's
well.
awesome. Good
Yeah,
call on by them to get double color on this
double,
motherfucker.
dude. I love the double, like both of them getting color, and I love that they get it the same, like
Yeah,
in theory the same way, right? I don't, like it's hard to really tell with like if Togo gets it, like you said, if they hit heads on the tope or where he really gets it, or if it
Mm-hmm.
is a blade job. But like regardless of all that, like to in the grand scheme of like he's gonna get color like off of him on the trailer the same way that Dick Togo did to him, and they yeah he goes back. They kind of crowd brawl. Um, Earlier in the match, Dick Togo had exposed one of the turnbuckles and like thrown Atlantis into it during the his control segment, and Atlantis does the same thing back to him, which I thought was super cool. Like it's his control segment basically just mirrors
yeah.
what
Mm-hmm.
Dick Togo's was, and I think that
Which is
was
which is really cool because then the like the final stretch of the match is just like a super sick back and
yeah,
forth.
dude. I love Dick Togo's pedigrees.
Oh, they're so
Uh,
They're
good.
very good. Dick
yeah,
Togo also, I wanted to say, Dick Togo sentons from the top. That's probably top 10 moves ever.
Oh, he's the best
yeah.
at that.
Mm-hmm.
He hits the best
I
sentons ever.
I do have a bit of a problem with the ref randomly deciding to take the chair away in the finishing stretch, like at one
Well, that's
point,
just
right?
Japanese wrestling, though.
But it's like he lets him hit him with the chair on the outside. That's fine. But as soon as he gets the chair in the ring, then he takes it away from him. But then like they do a couple more moves, and then he gets the chair back up, and then he goes to like, and the ref lets him swing it that time. But then Atlantis, that's when Atlantis like kicks his leg out, and then Atlantis gets up. Is that when Atlantis goes up to the top rope, or no, that's when he like kicks his leg out and then hits the like spinning backbreakers.
Yeah,
That
man, Atlantis also probably is one of the best backbreakers, but you could also say that for
Oh,
like
classic.
a lot of
every
luchadors.
great, yeah, every luchador they have
Yeah,
just
but that's
great
like his
backbreakers.
signature spot, right? The
Mm-hmm.
tilt the whirl.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
still does that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Atlantis Junior has also inherited that,
Yeah.
and then
and Blue Panther Junior.
all the
All the
juniors.
Panthers, all the fucking Panthers.
And then what is his? I was trying to look it up and then I kept getting distracted by Michinoku Pro Championships. What is Atlantis's submission? I'm sure it has
Uh,
Atlantida.
a
the Atlantida. I also
yeah
wrote down that is he wrenches this one in, and it's
Yeah,
probably one of the best submissions ever. It is so
yeah.
beautiful.
yeah
This the
yes
work all throughout this is like pretty flawless,
Yeah,
yeah
it's
but
smooth
not in a
lucha.
like over. Yeah, it's smooth, but it's still
there's still
it's
some
just
Aggressive.
struggle.
yeah. And I don't like. I don't think there's anything like this is not like a super crazy, spectacle match or anything. It's just a great, great wrestling match that
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody should probably watch at some point because it is like a totally hidden gem, right? Some random guy rated it on Cage Match, and John saw it, and he told me about it. And like, yeah, it's a great, great match.
Mhm.
That
Which is it is also very funny, right? So like yeah, this has a total of two cage match ratings, and they're both from last year. And like the the one guy says like, oh yeah, in the online upload of the show, it only has 26 total views. So like, dude, that's I mean, I'm sure it probably has more, and now at least, and who knows, maybe this whole show will get more after
I
this,
mean,
because
it
I mean,
might. It's not like the easiest thing to find. It's not like it's on YouTube or anything. But it is
yeah,
crazy that these two guys had a great title
Mhm.
match, and it's just was sort of lost to history until some random dude was like, I guess just watching Michinoku Pro shows on on
wherever,
pirate
yeah.
sites. Yeah.
Is it Atlantis? Is Atlantis versus Delphin in Osaka Pro or Michino?
Um,
I don't know that I've ever
that
seen that, but it's probably Osaka Pro.
I remember.
Depending
Isn't
on
it
the year.
Atlantis? Fuck. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I feel like that's something Joseph
I don't
might
know. I
so.
know when I looked, he had very few. He has this little tour, and then
Yeah.
this is a title match, right? And he wins the title, but then he takes
Mhm.
it back to CMLL and defends it
So
against Black Warrior, Perro Aguirre Jr., Tarzan Boy.
I
He'll
bet that
probably fucking rule.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
I'm sure.
match against Perito probably is
Yeah, I bet
amazing.
all three of those are great.
Black Warrior match. Black Warrior is fucking awesome. I'll bring a
Dude,
match
he's
of
so
his
sick.
today. Mm-hmm.
Don, did you ever
Um,
watch that El Dandy Black Warrior match?
No, I
Title
got him
match?
though.
Oh
I got
man,
him.
it's good. But yeah, so
so
then he comes back, like basically just to drop the belt to Sasuke like the next year.
Which is funny because Sasuke's in his corner for this.
Yeah.
okay, so that was what's confusing to me because like, so if you go to Cage Match, right, and like you can click on their little matches tab under their like the title reigns, and you see the 3 defenses, like you said in CMLL for Atlantis, and then they like don't have anything recorded for him dropping the belt like at all, and
that just might just be Cage Match being shitty.
and then the next thing you have is Sasuke
Defending it
defending
twice in K
against
Dojo.
K Dojo against
Yeah.
Taka.
So I actually messaged Jom about this because Jom
Okay.
is like the preeminent, right? Historian of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And he was curious when I sent it to him because he also, like I said, he loves this match too. He found it in Shoe Pro that he did drop the belt in Michinoku Pro on the date that is listed, but he was telling me that like just this era of Michinoku Pro is a big like black hole on Cage Match. Like
Gotcha.
nobody was
Oh.
paying attention to it at
Mhm.
all. So that's the
Yeah.
only way that I know is because John told me. And he worked in Mexico on the 16th and the 30th. So then he went and worked a tour from the 20th to the 28th. And I don't know that he's been back to Japan much. The only other time he had been was the year before he went and worked where did he work? I had it written down somewhere. Oh, a Torimon show with Casas, and he worked Sasuke in that, which is probably where they
They yeah.
connected. But the tournament that he worked before this match was like a masked wrestler tournament,
Oh,
Mm.
and
is
I
it
assume
is
that
it
he
the
wins. Huh?
is it the Masked Wrestler tournament, like the famous one
Oh, with the dirt bike kid? I
with
don't
the
think
dirt
so.
bike kid?
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. But it does have a crazy lineup. Not as crazy of a lineup as the tournament that your match has.
Yeah.
Was that a sentence in English? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I understood what you said. It was a good segue, except I'm not at all prepared to have the have the match pulled up to pull up what the tournament
Oh, I've got it.
totality
I got
had.
it
I
all.
also
Oh,
found
okay,
it.
okay,
And
perfect.
actually, Kim Justice made an entire video about this as like the
Yeah,
craziest tournament of all time.
which shout
Um,
out. I actually like I didn't I'll be honest, I didn't watch the whole video or listen to it.
I didn't watch any of it, but
I
I
turned it
saw
on.
it.
Yeah, I turned it on while I was driving home and listened to some of it. But it yeah, it doesn't necessarily get to. I don't know if it gets to this point. I didn't even make it to the point of the Sasuke match.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Someone called Olby. Shout out Kim Justice.
Also,
oh yeah, I
For
forgot
making
you
a
made
whole
it.
video about my tweet.
I forgot you were a topic of a Kim Justice video. I completely forgot about that.
I found the listing for Atlantis versus Super Delphin, and it is from Michinoku Pro. It's the Michinoku Pro 4th Fukumen World League, which
Okay,
I guess
that's the
that's
tournament. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
masked tournament. So is
Yeah.
it that same year?
It's 2007.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So he did come back.
Yeah, just
That
like
might be the only other.
4 years later.
Yeah.
Well, this is also a cool sounding card because it has Olympico, and Super Shisa. What was Tori? It's still Tori. Is it Dragon Gate at this point?
No clue.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
know.
And it also has Thunder Liger, versus Billy Ken Kid. Probably rules. And then the main is Ultimo Dragon versus Great Sasuke, which that also is probably
That
pretty
probably
good.
rules, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, so you said you have the lineup for the tournament for my what my match is the final for, Avi?
Yes, it was. So here's the people that are in this tournament. It is called the B Cup, and we can talk about the rules of that as we go. But it basically is like no strikes, just throws and submissions.
Hmm.
But unlike regular battle arts matches, there are pinfalls, and I think that plays into some of the finishes of these. But it is Yuki Ishikawa, the greatest wrestler ever.
Mhm.
Uh, Sasuke, Daisuke Ikeda, Hisakatsu Oya, who was like the technical wrestler in FMW.
Mhm.
Um, Greg Valentine, another goat,
That's cool. That's tough.
Yeah,
and
this
Victor Kruger, which I don't know if guys know Victor Kruger. He was a battle arts guy. He's like an actor too. Very interesting dude with a very funny website. If you're ever bored, and then Matsunaga. So there's like a Ishikawa Matsunaga match in this tournament too.
So there's Greg
Uh,
Valentine's battle arts shit, is what I'm hearing.
yes, there is. Yeah, he's in this tournament.
Is it
I mean,
good?
yeah, it's good. It's a Greg
I
Valentine match.
I mean
Yeah, that's
he-
fair. I
he's
want to watch that now.
does he
Yeah,
go out in the first round?
he loses to yeah, Hisakatsu Oya.
Yeah.
I think
So
that's the first round.
at
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
the finals ends up being Yuki Ishikawa versus Bob Backlund. The Kim Justice video you were talking about talks more about the Great Sasuke versus Bob Backlund match, which
Yeah.
obviously I did
In
think
battle
about.
arts.
Yeah, it does feel weird to have, you kind of get the double fish out of water there, considering the landscape
Well,
of
battle arts is a great promotion for this because I actually thought about when you gave this prompt before you chose this match, I thought about the Greg Valentine in battle arts, but I also thought about one of the greatest matches ever, which is Otsuka versus Matsunaga, which we will definitely do at some point. But they have a
so
lot of that. Jeff Hardy worked battle arts.
yeah, that which one I think is one we don't have a lot of video of. I think he only
There's
worked
one
like
one of those matches clipped.
yeah. Um I do think it is somewhat interesting in the scheme of like this is from Battle Arts in 11/23/98. So
This
like
match rules.
if you go and look at like what is what is Bob Backlund's cage match, he does like technically yes he does have like it's unfair to say this is towards the tail end of his career necessarily based off of like if you look at his cage match. I mean the last time he wrestled was 2018, and the truth be told, he probably was still really good in 2018.
I bet
Um,
he was still in damn good shape.
yeah. It is considered his end of active career was 2007, but he wrestled in 2007. He wrestled a whole two matches in TNA and
Yeah,
one
but
in
that
WWE.
by this point though, he is like his character is crazy old man, which uh I got pretty sad about when I started looking at this. Do you know how old he was in WWF doing like the crazy old man Backlund in the suspenders and bow tie?
In like what 90 like 94, 95.
It was 4 years before this. Yeah,
Yeah. He's probably what 38,
he
39.
was 45. That's what somebody that's what Lawson said too, like late 30s, and I was like, no, I thought
That's
45
what
was crazy to be like the old man, and y'all are going low.
that's why I figured
Damn.
you were upset because I
God.
figured he was going to be
Yeah.
younger than you.
No, no,
Fucking
no. But it's not.
rules.
I mean, it's not far away. But he's only 49 here, which that is
Dude,
like old. But wrestlers have a
for
long shelf
49
life.
for 49 he looks great. My main thought process too of this was like, man, this is 20 years after his real world title run, right? Like
Yeah,
not considering his little like transitional title
yeah. The
run that he
Brett deal.
has. Yeah, like not considering that world title run. His real world title run where he held it for like I don't know, however many days, like 700 days or some bullshit like that.
Yes, and don't believe the bullshit on that. That is a fucking incredible
Oh,
Little
dude,
title run from an in-ring perspective. Just
I
some absolute heaters in that shit.
what?
I mean, if you care about business, great. But
Oh, I was trying to think what was the match I watched. It was a him. That will be a pod match at some point. It's
Bob
him
Orton
versus
Jr.
Cowboy Bob. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
lumberback match.
Murmur.
Uh, yeah, that match rules.
yeah.
It
There's a ton. His
it's been
world title
uploaded
reign
on.
was fucking awesome.
Yeah, but to the way like, dude, I love the way that this match starts. Like, it really gives you that big fight feel
Oh,
with
and
like.
worth noting, right? Like, there's two versions of Battle Arts. Basically, there's the like version one, which this is
Mhm.
when it was like they were running, Korakuen regularly. But this is, and the second one is like basically a boutique promotion where they're running really small venues. Both awesome, but this is in Sumo Hall, and
Yeah,
there's like 9,000 people there, which makes it the biggest Battle Arts show by a considerable margin.
the
This
Road
is definitely
Warriors
like the
are on this
biggest show they
show.
ever ran.
I once I realized the Road Warriors were on the show, I also almost considered that match.
That match is
But
so funny. We watched that in like on a call not too long ago, and it's
but
so good.
with us covering Hellraisers last week, I was like, that's a little
Yeah,
too close, you know. We can save that one for a future one of these familiar faces ones.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
Um, the, but I do love the way that this starts with the national anthems for both competitors. This is, I think, the second time that both of these guys wrestled this night, right? I think
yeah.
they.
So they had the first round matches were like a month before,
Hmm.
and then they did the semifinals and the finals on the same night here. Because
Yeah.
I think yeah, Backlund beats, was it Ikeda, and then
Yeah.
Ishikawa beats
No.
Matsunaka, Sasuke.
Yeah. Backlund beats Sasuke and
Yeah.
Ishikawa beats Oya.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sasuke here stylized as just Sasuke, all caps, because I think he's heel.
What a mind.
Huh.
Oh, this card also, there's also some crazy stuff. Hayabusa versus Ray Bucanero is on this card. So
Ooh.
Ooh, now I want to watch that.
yeah, there's some crazy stuff on this
You
card.
should just watch. I mean, it's a big undertaking, but like watching Battle Arts is never bad.
No, you're right.
Uh,
You're 100% right.
You're always gonna see some real heat.
you got like I said, that match of the Road Warriors versus Atsuka and Yone. And then this
Very
is your
fun
main
match.
event. This is this gives you, like I said, it gives you that main event feel, I think. You get the national anthems for both Japan and the US with the Dom, I know you posted the screenshot of the fade of the American flag over Bob
It is
Backlund's
Oh
face.
genuinely one of the fucking funniest things.
yeah, I
Dude,
might steal that for like the avatar or profile picture or something.
yeah, dude, I love Bob Backlund so much, honestly, and then him starting, whatever, they do the announcements, they do the handshake, and they start, and now you're charged up, and then Bob Backlund does what I just called the Backlund shtick of the
Well, he wants to show that even though he wrestled earlier in the night, his
He's still
cardio, he's
good.
doing lunges. He's doing like the craziest lunges you've ever seen.
He's trying to do
And-
like the wrestling like knee slides.
yeah,
Yeah,
Their
it's
lunges.
so fucking funny, dude. I love this dude. He
yeah,
is,
Ishikawa loves it too because he has a big shit-eating grin on his face like for
dude.
this whole match, and that makes sense. Ishikawa has to love Bob Backlund.
Yeah, he's
That's
probably like, oh, I'm fucking wrestling Backlund right now. Holy shit.
right. So that was my thought process for this, right? Because it's you can kind of figure out okay, well, the guys at Impro were brought Atlantis in for a tour, whereas this feels like Ishikawa just going oh, dude, it'd be really cool if I got to wrestle Bob Backlund.
Yeah,
And so he just
probably
booked
so.
himself. He
Yeah,
just booked himself to wrestle Bob Backlund in a
and God
tournament
bless him
final.
for it.
Yeah,
And
because this
yeah,
is a fantastic match. I've already said it, but this is so good.
dude, it is such a beautiful technical match. Um,
And
it,
another one that the inmates are huffing straight Duke on.
Oh,
Because
I'm
I checked
sure.
after I watched and was like, "What in the world?" We were watching something very different.
Very
Yeah, it's
different.
probably wrong.
Yeah, somebody said this is slightly clipped. Oh yeah, you miss a whole. You don't miss anything.
You
You
miss
don't.
like I think about 30 seconds of like a sleeper
Yeah.
at the beginning, and then something very similar at the end, like the tail end
Yeah.
of like a leg hold or something.
Oh no, I'll
Yeah,
never recover. Yeah, this is it's so good. I love like when they kind of like both like shoot for the like legs, like
yeah.
try and both kind of go for a single leg takedown.
I could
Uh,
live only on Yuki Ishikawa matches. Of course, if you've listened to this podcast before, what was it, our
that was
second
our second
episode?
episode. Yeah,
Yeah, I for my money, the I wasn't kidding earlier. I think Yuki Ishikawa is the
he's
greatest wrestler ever.
he is great here. In that Kim Justice video, she kind of mentions that like the way it is said is that Yuki Ishikawa is cosplaying like Inoki here, and I'm like, that's just Yuki Ishikawa.
Yeah,
Like,
that's his whole career.
yeah,
Have you
he
seen
is.
the thing where he got to like have a little exhibition with Inoki?
I know about it. I've never
Yeah,
seen
so
it though.
there's a little segment from a documentary. I think it was made in Canada about Ishikawa, and he talks about getting to wrestle Inoki, and it's really cool and beautiful. Like almost always, it is when he speaks because he's just so insanely goaded. But
Also,
yeah,
really big fan
that's
of
what he's
Goldfish.
doing. That's what he's doing. He's doing Inoki, except better.
Yeah, yeah, because he does the Inoki things, but not like Inoki kind of has that size on people, you know, where like he can kind of be brooding and bigger
Yeah,
than guys. Whereas Ishikawa is a smaller guy, right? So, you know, not super small. When he's faced up against a guy like Backlund, they're about the same size, but you know, compared to somebody like Inoki, they're not. You know, it's a different kind of guy, right?
Hmm.
he's also much more. Well, I don't want to say more compelling. Inoki has obviously some unbelievable matches, but he's also got some real fucking
Thinkers.
boring ass matches. And I'm not turned off by
Like
like
long,
mat
slow
work
matches.
and
Yeah.
yeah, slow shit. I love it, but like
And I think this is
watching
a
a lot
good
of those Fujinami tags, it'll there's I mean there are matches with Fujinami where he like throws on a Boston Crab for like or he's in a Boston Crab for like 7 minutes and that's like the extent of what he does in the match.
Yep.
yeah. He
Let's fucking go, dude.
like this match is like you said, there's no strikes. It is all just grappling, right? So it is a lot of
They do
just
a couple of little like kicks to the back of the leg because they're both
hmm
working on legs. But yeah, there's no which I think again like speaks to Ishikawa's greatness because a lot of people when they think of Yuki Ishikawa think of punching you in the face,
Uh-huh.
but he's also obviously an unreal technician.
Incredibly smooth. Like he
I
locks
love
on Moodle locks and shit at points and it looks great.
I love the like back to back like they each get one of the double underhook like suplexes.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
those are nice.
Beautiful.
I do love that they both get one and then later in the match
Backlund looks fucking crazy. He just launches his ass.
dude Backlund like
Backlund,
throws him.
Backlund is stupid fucking strong. It's
That's that's the thing, right? Is like and that's what compelled me to bring this match because as much fun as I do think the UWFI matches are, that's like 10 years before this. So
Yeah,
like, you know, he's still in even better shape then than, you know, and closer to like that championship run like I was talking about than he is here.
yeah, and there's a little more room in battle arts for the goofy
for like
back.
actual wrestling
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
which
and
is
like
an important part of Bob Backlund, I think.
Hmm.
and that's the thing is I think everybody talks about Bob Backlund as like the bad like face of the company for WWF.
He's just
He
not.
wasn't.
He's not.
He's
Yeah,
not.
that's parroting something that you haven't. investigated or
Mm-hmm.
having bad taste, one or the other. But it's if you like good wrestling, there's no way you're coming away from watching the Backlund reign unimpressed.
This like I think this kind of falls along with one of the matches where like we've said you can watch it or like you can listen to us talk about it, but I feel like watching it does kind of give it a lot more credit because a lot of the like way that we can talk about a leg lock or the way that they both kind of get toe holds at certain points. And like we can talk about all that, but the way that they kind of work them and the way that just the way it looks at times when like at one point Backlund grabs Ishikawa's like foot and like puts on a toe hold where he's like bending his leg outwards and it looks rough.
Mhm.
Like he's like bending his whole knee and you're just like, that looks like it hurts. Like and Ishikawa's just like writhing in pain like and a lot of times that is what basically gets him to break the holds is Bob Backlund kind of grabbing a hold and wrenching it on and he'll give it up. And I think it's kind of fun because a lot of times in like shoot style stuff when you see that kind of situation where they're both grabbing holds and wrenching on them, either guys won't give them up or they'll start kind of like slap fighting or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. Whereas here, they're not doing that, right? Like they're just kind of holding, like one of them's holding the hold and the other one's
There's only like
writhing in
one
pain.
spot where they slap each other.
Yeah, I think it's so
Top rope thing.
so Backlund gets so Yuki gets the like armbar lock. What is there even a term for that?
Where
Like
he's like pulling on like the elbow and like he's got his legs around
hmm
it.
yeah, he's
I think that's almost like a fucking elbow. I think it's like an
like
elbow
yeah,
slicer, elbow razor, or something.
I don't know. It looks rough. Like it genuinely looks.
It's like I know it's an old catch wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he's putting his leg over and like holding on to the arm, and Bob tries to roll over a couple times to deadlift him up, and
With
each
one
time
arm.
like yeah, and each time he does it, like he tries 3 different times. Each time he gets a little bit more, but he just can't like get it. But on the third time, he finally when he picks him up, but he isn't able to like put him up on his shoulder like he normally would do. And so he just kind of drops him, and it does get Yuki to break the hold. But then he goes back, like Yuki goes back, gets the hold again, and then that's when he deadlifts him up with the one arm and puts him up on his shoulder and
Just like in
gets him.
dumb strong.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
it's so
old man
impressive.
strength.
So impressive to watch. Because
Hmm.
again, it's one arm. And
Yeah,
it's all of Ishikawa's body weight.
and he's 45.
Yeah.
And yeah, he puts him up on the top rope, and that is like you said, the one of the few strikes is he slaps Yuki, and Yuki kind of slaps him back,
Mhm.
and then Ishikawa gets the arm breaker, puts the octopus on, and that forces Backlund to give up, and like that is the finish. You still get that like Bob Backlund like hope, but you just you're reminded that like things can end still quickly. Like it's not all.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
just about a 20-minute match or so. But it
yeah.
flies by, especially
It
for a
does
match
fly
that is like
by.
almost all on the mat.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It,
two masters, right?
these all three of these matches are roughly like 20 to
Yeah.
25 ish minutes.
Mhm.
Even though at certain parts Dom's match started to feel like it drug a little bit once they got into a certain point of the
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, but anytime you were like getting bored, then like one of the most batshit things you've ever seen would happen.
Pretty
But it
much.
is funny, like thinking, like Dick Togo, Atlantis, Bob Backlund,
Yuki
Yuki
Ishikawa.
Ishikawa,
I mean,
just
we're talking.
absolute masters of their craft.
These are four, I think, four wrestlers who maybe not everybody's lists, but I think these are four wrestlers that at least could be in the top 100 of somebody's lists.
Uh-huh.
You know, like these are all four
I've got
wrestlers.
both of them in your match are on mine, and one of them is at number 1. I think I'm maybe like a little lower overall on both of the guys in my match than most people,
Mm-hmm.
but I still think that they're like
Is that a
two
like
unbelievably great wrestlers.
is that a situation where you just haven't watched a ton of Dick
No,
Togo
I just
or
think I think
Atlantis?
Atlantis is not. I think he's like a tier below, like the all-time lucha greats.
Some of the greats, yeah.
That's not ridiculous.
And I like while I think Dick Togo is like an unbelievably great wrestler, I think
Yeah.
I think that he is like maybe slightly like I've seen people say that he's like, the greatest junior heavyweight ever, and I just don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't.
He's awesome. Fucking awesome. But I don't like I think there are people I don't know, I think some of it is like in response to the hate that he gets from people who don't know ball. Right? Because like a lot of New Japan watchers think he's bad
I mean,
and
I don't
aren't
know why.
familiar with like, his whole career before that.
Uh-huh.
So I think there's some of that. I also think that just the dick and cock jokes
yeah.
uh, also
Maybe
go
they're
a long
funny.
way. Yeah, but I mean, I do think, but the whole reason I started talking about the four, because I do think they're four of the best to ever do it. Like when you zoom out, or at least they're four unbelievably great wrestlers.
Dick Togo's 55.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's crazy.
That is kind of crazy
Yeah,
because he does
He's
not
also
look
still
50.
gigantic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and still good. He had a really good like Ganbare match recently. It's just what he's doing in New Japan. I think is working New Japan fans. I think they get pissed off about like
Everything.
interference and stuff like that.
They're
Yeah,
all New
everything. I
Japan
think that's
fans. Yeah.
definitely like a hate watch. Like
Yeah.
you watch
But
the people who watch New Japan regularly seem to dislike it a lot, or
Mhm.
it's everything is either the worst match ever or the greatest match ever.
yeah, there's no in between.
I actually really was talking about this the other day. I really detest the way that those people talk about wrestling in general. But anyway, the whole reason I started talking about that was because then you go to Dom's match
And it's
and
I don't.
Yay!
This okay. This fucking holy shit,
So
dude.
Brady, I do not know if you'd get the reference, but I said this is basically the wrestling equivalent to Gummo, the movie Gummo. Just like
don't know what that is. No.
okay, you look it up
it's a
after
Harmony
this.
Korine movie. Yeah, it's fucking weird as hell.
Fucking weird and basically white trash and drug.
So
Not it's
okay.
awesome. It's kind of crazy bad, but
like
whatever. This match is
It's
crazy
like
bad.
Pink Flamingos. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is a these are not, and we can talk about what it is. These are not two of the best wrestlers ever. I
They're
think
not.
one of them
So
could have been potentially.
so this is Teddy Hart versus Too Tough Tony from Juggalo Championship Wrestling 12/16/2020. So
And the 2020
okay,
part is very important.
so this things we need to note here, right? First of all, this is not a match in a ring. This
Nope.
is a match that happens inside Violent J of Insane Clown Posse's house. Okay?
Yeah.
They
Which just makes it 10 times funnier because,
but yeah. Before
dude,
we speak,
it is very funny.
Before we speak, I want to say ICP music not good. I think Juggalos and the ICP are so funny to observe, like animals in a zoo, just to watch them and like, you know what I'm saying?
So like, okay, here's the thing.
I love every second of this. I
Yeah.
think this is like a scum
So
classic.
Uh-huh.
That
I
I'm
have
so glad because I never ever in 1,000,000 years would have watched this.
Yourself.
But obviously,
Gotcha.
2020, it's like the height of COVID, right? And
right.
of course, they don't give a shit. So
I mean,
instead of being able to
who
run a
knows?
venue,
They might have. They might have. I'm I'm not
come on,
gonna
dude.
try to. You don't think they maybe COVID tested these guys before they brought them in there?
Do
No,
you think? Do
they
you
pass
think
blood
that
to
Teddy
each other.
Hart would take a COVID test?
They pass a
No,
blunt
not
to
a
each other,
fucking
Brady.
chance.
They don't give a
Yes, they
fuck
do.
about COVID.
They do pass a blunt to each other. That's
Okay,
in
so
fact
like,
The
how
best,
we
here's
yeah,
begin.
yeah, and it
here's the
begins
thing.
with them
Here's the thing.
passing a blunt.
I need to state this right because growing up in the Midwest, I feel like I have a much different like feeling in reference to Juggalo culture than I think most.
Fair, no, that's
Be-
definitely fair.
because I feel like I'm a lot closer to it, right? I remember being in elementary school or middle school and having people who were juggalos graffiti Hatchet Man all over the town I grew up in. That is a town of 800 people. All
That's
right,
so
like we are.
fucking cool.
they they it's so fucking stupid.
It's awesome.
um, I've
I
joked.
may or may not have owned multiple
Are
Insane
you?
Clown Posse albums when I
Did
was like
you
13.
did you listen to the Great Malenko on CD in
The
your
great
car?
Malenko. No, yeah, I listened to it
Jesus.
on my grandma's couch on my
And on
Discman
your oh yeah.
and thought I was really getting away with something. Thought I
I
was
hey,
really
I think
fucking a badass because I was like, my grandma has no idea
And I'm
that
listening to
these
this
what
fucking
that I'm
gangster shit,
listening to
dude.
this hardcore. Uh, of course, not an Insane Clown Posse fan. I do think there is something it charming to a degree about Juggalo culture. Like I think it's sweet in
I
some
think
ways, but it's also disgusting and foul in a
yeah, at
lot of ways. And
times.
and and
Yeah.
Violent J is also disgusting and foul.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
I've
but
I've I've jokingly in my life said whoop whoop and been, like had several people come up and go, "Oh, you down with the clown?" Like that's a real thing that has happened to
yeah,
me. And I'm like,
I've been
"Bro,
scared. No, bro, please.
I was down
yeah,
with the clown for like a year when I was like 13 and thought it was cool to
yes.
listen to
That's
edgy shit."
that's the time. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
time to think it's funny to listen to the Insane Clown Posse. Yes,
Yeah.
when you are 13 years old.
And this match I think embodies maybe all of that actually. So first of all, I don't know why, but Teddy Hart is the Juggalo
He
Championship
won it.
Wrestling
He won the
Heavyweight
title in
title.
his only other JCW match, which was at
No,
the
he
Gathering.
wrestled three. He had wrestled three. He worked
To this point,
yes, he had worked well
okay.
no, so he'd
Well,
worked two before this and then this match, which is once
okay,
again, that's why we brought like because I was
yeah,
almost a little lenient because I outright assumed that Teddy Hart had worked more JCW because
yeah.
That would
Teddy
fit.
Hart Teddy Hart feels like a JCW regular to me, all right? Like
Hmm.
who
I don't
else is
care. He could have worked there 200 dates a year, and I still would have been
still
fine with
wanna
this because this shit
dude.
is. He comes in. Even Violent J is like, is he in his fucking pajamas? He comes in basically in his pajamas, walks through the front door smoking a blunt,
With a chain around his neck.
which is, I guess that's a lot better than the recent clip of him like doing a bump on the way to the ring. That was
Yeah, that's
making
actually a
the
good point.
rounds. Yeah.
Um Yeah, so he's smoking a joint, and then he hands the joint to Too Tough Tony, who came in first with his bottle of Bacardi,
Yep.
and he hands it to Too Tough Tony. Too Tough Tony takes a hit, and then Too Tough Tony hands it to the ref, and the ref takes a hit, and
Fuck
then
it.
I
Yeah.
don't know what happens to the
Awesome.
joint after that. I think
Probably just drop it on the
I sh-
fucking floor.
yeah, they probably just dropped it on the floor because this is the main event, and by this point, Violent J's house is
is destroyed.
trashed. But luckily, he got all his home decor from like what's the step below Target?
Home
Like
Goods.
Big Lots.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Violent J 100% shops at Big Lots. Uh,
it's so funny, man. It's so funny, especially when they go to his bedroom, which we'll talk about too. But it's like the gimmick of this shit is that like all the other matches,
happened
each
in
one took
different
place in a
rooms.
different room. Yeah, but this
Yeah.
one, it's like all the rooms are fair
All
game.
throughout the house, yeah.
So we get a full tour of Violent J's house.
Rhino has a match on this show.
Fucking okay, of course.
Yeah, he has a match on this show,
He's from
and
Detroit, right? Is he
yeah,
from
he
Michigan?
is. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Detroit. That's why he
Uh,
always has the D on his tights. And
oh, I had no idea.
so yeah, he wrestles the match in the kitchen. I I started to watch that just because I watched this match and I was like, holy
I'm gonna
fucking
do like
shit,
Teddy, and I'm gonna smoke a big fat blunt, and I'm gonna watch this whole show.
dude.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be that's probably the best way to experience this.
Yeah, Violent J and the other one I don't care about. They
Shaggy
talk the
2
whole
Dope.
Shaggy 2 Dope. They talk they're commentators, so they talk the whole time.
It's so funny though because they're doing exactly what I would be doing. Like the most of what they say is "Holy fuck! Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Oh fuck yeah!
Fucking
Yeah.
shit!"
Yeah.
But to their credit, they are at least like, so they are just set up, I guess, in his dining room.
They're right. They're in the living room because if at the end I don't want to spoil it, but when the closet thing happens, you can see them in one of the shots like a foot away from that closet.
Yeah, well, they walk past him a couple times in this
Yeah.
match. Um,
And Shaggy
yes,
2 Dope keeps like pulling his hammer out.
yeah, they have a
He's got like a
hammer for
fucking
the ring bell, but it's not
Yeah.
like a normal, like, it is like just a normal
It's-
like nail claw hammer, right? Like, it's just a hammer you buy at the hardware store, like, that everyone has in their supply closet type shit.
It's also probably for his
talking about the knickknacks and
Mhm, the
Oh
knickknacks.
my fucking god, the knickknacks.
my fucking knickknacks.
Another fun thing I thought was really funny is they have the TV in the living room and it's just stuck on the YouTube like search, like a YouTube app like
I
search
thought
thing.
they were gonna smash that. I thought
Dude.
that was like a El Cheapo that they bought just to destroy.
Right? I figured that would be a spot at some point too, and they never unfortunately, I'll spoil that. They never fucking used the TV. And for
Yeah.
all the fucked up shit they do in the goddamn living room, you couldn't ram like Too Tough Tony's head in the TV?
Maybe he told him not to. Maybe that's his shoot TV. But
Yeah,
I think this is one that we do just need to go through
okay.
Yeah.
because
100%.
they both hit the blunt.
So
And then
they
it
all
starts,
three.
Yeah, they all three hit the blunt, and then Teddy throws like an actual fucking punch,
A
which is what
punch,
he
yeah, they-
does for the
The
whole
entire
match.
He basically just punches Tony in the face the entire match.
He
It's
dislocates
so
his
loud.
finger
punching
Oh
his
my
punching
face.
this
God,
man
later.
in the head.
Yeah, that's a crazy spot later. We'll get so
Yeah.
he's shooting. They're just and like they do it to each other, right? Like
Yeah.
they start shoot punching each other. And then they start hitting like the European uppercuts and like the clubs on the back. Like they start
He's just
hitting
a
like
crazy person. He is an insane person. No,
Yeah.
This
an
was my
insane
first time
person.
seeing Too Tough Tony, and I was very impressed. I've seen clips of him hitting his finisher because, again, we'll get to it. It's nuts. But this was my first full Too Tough Tony match.
Too Tough Tony match.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty cool.
He dude, they kind of like immediately start to go down the stairs, like after they start kind of beating up on each other. And Too Tough Tony grabs a painting off of the wall, which I think Violent J says is like his finger painting or some bullshit like that. And he whacks Teddy
I
up.
gotta say, man, they're pretty fucking funny.
They are, dude. It's kind of
Especially when they start talking about how they're like fighting for Juggalo pride. Oh man,
I'm so proud of Juggalo culture. They came up to me before the fucking match. Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, they're very funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, honestly,
It
like,
might be unintentional. Like we say, this is like Gummo and Pink Flamingos. Like Harmony Korine and John Waters were like they knew what they were doing. They don't know what they're doing, but
Yeah.
it is very fucking funny. His finger
not.
painting.
Yeah, so he whacks Teddy upside the head with this fucking finger paint or whatever it is. It doesn't even look like a finger painting, by the way. It 100% looks like a painting.
He just
Once
bought.
again,
They
yeah, like
bought
you
that to break over.
at
Yeah,
fucking Big Lots once
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Um, and so he whacks him with it, and it doesn't break. And then they go into this bedroom, which is Violent J's bedroom. Um, some things I
Unbelievable.
want some things I want to note about Violent J's bedroom here that are not at all in relation to the match.
No, but
Number
that's
one,
part of it. This is like the backyard stuff. Like the anthropological aspect of this is every bit as interesting as the murder that they're doing to each other.
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite things is that literally above his bed on the wall is mounted the Immortal Championship that looks like Jeff Hardy's face with the white strap. I don't know
I
if you
didn't
guys
even
even fucking
notice that,
noticed
man.
this. Yeah, I was just like, because like when they're just kind of like lumbering around, I'm just like looking around,
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
at what
There's
the
a
fuck
lot
is in
to
Violent
absorb.
J's house. Yeah, so I see that fucking championship on the wall, and I started getting Vietnam flashbacks because that's around the time I started getting into TNA,
Mm-hmm.
is when that belt was active. And that is just oh my god, that is so terrible. It was fine when Jeff Hardy held it, but when literally anybody else held it, it was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So they kind of brawl around in this uh in this bedroom, and then Too Tough Tony goes over and he like whacks
Can we also
Teddy
have to
Hart's.
talk about, before we stop talking about the bedroom decor, okay? There is multiple paintings of Michael Jackson.
See,
Like
I didn't notice
real,
that.
dude. So there's the first thing that I saw. There's like a monkeys poster, which looks like something you buy at the fucking flea market, like
Probably.
for real. And then on the other side, there's some other shitty band. I can't remember what it is. One's like Damn Yankees or something. But then all around that are like paintings of Michael Jackson. There are multiple paintings of Michael Jackson, and there's like a big ass like lit up yin yang, which
Oh
is
yeah.
also very funny, keeping in the theme of like this is for 13-year-olds, because that's like the shit
Yeah.
you think is good. And this is like a fucking
He has
50-year-old man
he has
who
the
has
fucking the
a
little
big
twinkle lights around the door.
yeah, yeah.
um I don't want to skip over this because I'm like reading my notes while you're talking, and I don't want to skip over this because Tony puts so he breaks the painting over Teddy Hart's head finally, the second time he hits him. And then he puts on a bathrobe, which is said to be Violent J's bathrobe.
Yeah. Well, whatever they're fucking talking about.
And
Yeah,
they
and
say,
they're so vulgar the whole time, but they say making love like 20 times.
dude,
That's
I can't.
you make love in that robe.
They're only love makers, all right. They don't.
They're basically like the live action Mario and Luigi from the OG Mario and Luigi like TV show.
What are
That's
That's
the
that's
so
what
basically
are
real,
them.
the
dude.
what are the two old man puppets that like
Oh,
sit
Statler
Oh
and
in?
my!
Waldorf
Yeah, there's Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, like if they're just real
on
raunchy.
fucking meth. Yeah.
Yeah. they are they're
Because he
fucking crazy.
again, there's multiple crazy moonsaults which we can talk about, but he hits one on the bed and he says, "That's the way Teddy Hart does his bitches."
Fucking sure.
And then he says something about but their ass is in the air, but then he says making love like 15. Like you're saying some of the most like awful shit.
It's hilarious when they're like Teddy Hart. A lot of his high flying stuff. They didn't teach Stu Hart didn't teach him that in the dungeon. That's funny as
Bret
fuck.
Hart didn't teach him that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bret
that
Hart
was
didn't
funny
teach him
as
that.
fuck.
He's doing like this is what children do. He's doing like moonsaults off the bed, off the couch, off the
Dude,
like it's like
okay,
what?
Yeah.
he
Well,
does.
that's
So
what he's famous for, right?
the
I'm
first
sure y'all have
moonsault,
seen that Ring of Honor shit where he's just like spamming moonsaults.
That's
the
fucking
first
awesome.
moonsault he does is off of the dresser, and he almost fucking dies
Oh
on this
yeah. Well,
moonsault.
Shaggy Two Dope informs us that that ceiling fan that he almost hits has
No,
razor
no, no, no,
blades.
no. Not that. Not no. Not that one. That
Oh
is the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
second.
yeah.
That's the second moonsault he hits. The
Yeah.
first moonsault he hits is when he tries to moonsault off of the dresser. He almost dies, but Tony catches him and then
Oh yeah, belly to
side
back.
suplexes him onto a fucking this ladder that
Yeah,
I don't
he
understand.
suplexes
Yeah,
the
yeah. I was
fuck
trying
out
to
of him.
figure why is it? Did he have a ladder going up to his bed?
I think
Like,
so.
what in the world? Where did this ladder come? This wooden ladder.
Yeah, it's like a wooden. The only thing I could think
But
of is like,
it's disgusting. Like it's brutal as fuck the way they
I
use
don't know
it.
if
dude.
that
Yeah,
makes his
the
back bleed
suplex.
immediately.
The suplex is fucking insane. And dude, I literally like in my notes he hits that moonsault and then that suplex and I typed holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit.
You know, I actually did the same thing with Ob when I was DMing him about the match. I was just like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Dude,
I,
I literally had to pause the match and rewind it so I could actually write down what happened in my like notes because I literally started laughing so maniacally. And I was like, what the fuck am I goddamn watching, bro? Like, I, like I said to you guys, I never in my life thought that we would be reviewing Juggalo Championship Wrestling on this podcast. Um, Never in my life, and I 100% believe in my heart of hearts this will never happen again.
Well, my life has been enriched whether we do it again or not.
I don't think it can
And
get any better
but
than this.
we're like where we are talking about this match is like 3 minutes into a 20
Yeah,
minute
we're not even
match.
part.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ted.
But no,
Then
when he takes the belly to back through the ladder, and then he gets it like in the throat,
yeah, he like
and
puts
he
his head through
says
the
he may have
rungs.
just DOC'd himself. That was
Yeah,
probably my biggest laugh of the match.
I will say it is kind of crazy that spot of like throwing him down through the ladder and he takes like three of the rungs out with his throat.
Yeah,
Like that is kind of an
crazy
insane
as
spot.
fuck.
yeah.
And then Tony puts him on top of the bookshelf. And Teddy has to work to get his ass up on top of this bookshelf because it's a pretty high fucking bookshelf.
Yeah, he's got
And
Violent J has the very high ceilings, which is good for this
for good, yeah.
match.
And he does another moonsault off of the bookshelf, which is the part you're talking about with Shaggy Two Dope saying it's like razor blades.
Yeah, like they just talk about a whole lot of bullshit the whole time. It's awesome.
Then yeah, he hits the standing moonsault on the bed, which that is the thing you do like to your friends when you're like
Yeah,
like
it's
10,
so funny.
12. Yeah, and you're like, "Oh, let's wrestle." And so you like the bed is the only thing you can think of that is
Yeah,
like
100%.
you're willing to like do that on, cuz it's got the right amount of spring but also the right amount of cushion. And so you're like, "Oh yeah, I can do a moonsault on this." Yeah, he does a moonsault on the bed, which is insane. And I think too, I do want to point this out. I think he like takes his shoes off to do the moonsault on the bed because I see him put his shoes back on.
I think
Like
they came
after
off on the moonsault before he lost his shoes.
I just figured maybe he was like being a considerate individual, didn't want to, put his boots on the bed.
Yeah, could be the bed that Violent J makes love on
Yeah, that he has to tell you he makes love on
over and over.
over. They're dude, they're so insane. Um, they go
Well, yeah,
like
it's right in the
they
name.
they brawl they brawl back out like into the hallway, and they go downstairs, which it was is when they mention the
The
knickknacks.
knickknacks, and I swear one of them says knicknats at least three
Probably.
times.
They're dumb as rocks. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Uh,
My
um,
knickknacks.
dude, because he has like a bunch of I mean, that appropriately called knickknacks,
Yeah,
like
there's
up
like a
on
little
like.
alcove with a bunch of little shitty pieces of shit. Everything in his house is just a little shitty piece of shit.
And he's just like, no, don't touch my knickknacks. And then they just scream knickknacks at each other for the next minute. And completely forgetting about what's
Yeah.
happening in the match, which is unfair to what's happening in the match because they go
Yeah,
downstairs
this might be the
and
craziest part of the whole
you
match.
posted, I know you posted this on Twitter of so Two Tough Tony starts getting all of these pool balls out of the pockets of this pool table, and he puts them in the rack, and like sets them up, and then that's when you see Teddy Hart, who he'd like thrown in the other room of the downstairs, which is like a little bar, like lounge
Yeah,
area.
and it should be noted, like in between all this crazy shit, they're also still just like punching each other as hard as
Shoot
they can
punching
in the
each
head.
other, yeah.
Yeah.
And that is when you see Teddy Hart, and what they think he says is something that his ankle is hurt. What he actually is talking about is his ankle
Yeah, he
monitor,
shows his ankle monitor to the camera.
I
which
remember I saw the ankle monitor and I was like, "There's no fucking
Yeah,
way,
that shit sent me into orbit, man.
bro. No fucking way, ankle monitor."
which
And
then
he's not even bringing up the ankle monitor. He's like, "Oh, I hurt my fucking ankle," and then they go, "Is that an ankle monitor?" Like he just didn't. Like he's just crazy.
no, yeah, no, that's the thing is they think he's like on commentary they're like, "Oh, he hurt his ankle. He's not going to be able to do his high flying moves." In reality, he's like, "Oh, my ankle monitor." And like this is JCW. You guys should be so tapped into the fact he just showed you a fucking ankle monitor.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
like their
guarantee
vibe.
there's, yeah, exactly,
Yeah, that's a badge of
exactly.
honor in the Juggalo community.
I'm surprised they didn't do a spot where he cut it off.
When do they? When
Going to
do?
jail for
Yeah, for JCW. Well, they keep talking about how he's like, Teddy Hawks came up and was like, "I do this for the fucking Juggalos, the Juggalo pride." I take what he didn't say that. He probably
No,
Teddy
no, that
Hart.
is
Like
no. I think he might have. I listen.
honestly, you're right because
As much
what
as
I
I
wanted
want
to
to
bring up.
doubt,
Oh, you know that there's a lot of mutual respect between Teddy Hart and the Insane Clown
he,
Posse.
Because the funniest thing
well,
I
yeah, they
want to
put the
fucking
belt on
bring
him.
up, the absolute funniest thing I want to bring up, and I don't mean to cut you off, I don't mean to skip, is when Teddy Hart is eventually in the same room as them, and they're fearful because they're like, this guy is fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like
Yeah, and
batshit
he's probably
insane.
concussed. Like
Yeah,
almost
Oh,
certainly concussed
bro,
at this
like,
point, and already like obviously
bro,
an
like
insane person.
yeah, the first thing he
Probably
says is
Teddy Hart
like
has probably killed someone. Just
100%. I think he has definitely killed someone, and like the
yeah,
first thing he
yeah.
says
maybe
to
that's why
them
he has
is
the ankle
like,
monitor.
and this is for you guys fuckers to be the first only ones to stick up for WCW. Bro, it's 2020. What are we talking about? They literally just like look at each other like, is that a compliment? Like they're
He picks up his
horrified.
hammer again.
Yeah, they have the hammer for self-defense at this point.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
It is literally like an Eric Andre skit. Like they're fucking just crazy. Like
So
Yeah,
yeah,
did we talk about the pool balls?
the
Or did
pool balls. So no, so he Teddy comes in, attacks Tony, slams his head off the pool table, and then racks the pool balls right in front of Too Tough Tony's head, and then walks around the table, grabs the cue ball and throws it in and breaks the cool has a
It's
break into Too
insane.
Tough Tony's head. And
I don't know if it hits his head or just hits more into his head, but it's gotta hurt like a fucking
I'm
bitch.
sure it hurts. Yeah, I mean,
Sounds and looks crazy.
I've been hit by like a pool ball, like fly off.
Oh yeah, those
any-
shits are
yeah,
heavy as fuck,
they're
man.
heavy. Yeah, they like fly. I've had one fly off the table and like hit me, and like that
Yeah,
sucker. Them suckers are solid.
yeah.
And so there's no way this doesn't hurt. And so they go back upstairs and they so this is when like they go back into the kitchen and or no, sorry, I almost skipped over the fact that he like vertical suplexes him on that side table in downstairs. And like that is a nasty bump to take. because it does not break like you want a table to.
Not at all.
He then they then they go upstairs. Tony is busted open, by the way, from the pool ball spot, and then they go upstairs and Tony is like just whacking Teddy Hart over the head, and the camera is just like right in Teddy Hart's face, and you can almost see him actually blading. And Shaggy Two Dope on camera and on commentary goes, "Yeah, maybe we should switch to another camera here," because he's like trying to protect the business, I guess, and trying like to
Well,
not.
yeah, Stu Hart, last dungeon
True.
trainee,
Yeah,
Teddy Hart.
yeah.
What a
You
waste,
think?
dude. God.
That is
Oh,
very, very
what
good
a
point.
holy fucking shit! But yeah,
Teddy Hart,
he's
also one of the few people, not one of the few people, one of the many people to have fought CM Punk.
no, I mean, I think Teddy Hart's probably fought a lot more than just CM Punk.
No, that's true, but I don't know, adds him to the list of people CM Punk has
Yeah,
fought.
Teddy Hart, Jack Perry. I don't know
Eddie.
who else. Um,
Eddie?
those
I know they hate each other. I don't know
those
if
strippers
they actually
in
fought.
FIP.
Seems like
I thought you were talking about Eddie Guerrero. My fucking stupid
Oh no,
ass.
Kingston, sorry.
My fucking dumb
I should have
ass.
specified. Yes, Eddie would
Yeah,
be.
Eddie Guerrero probably wouldn't have liked him either.
Oh, definitely not.
But yeah, the strippers in FIP
Mm-hmm.
when he called them all whores, I think, because FIP was run out back of a strip club. In case you didn't know.
Best stuff in
And
Punk.
so yeah, they battle around in the kitchen, and they go back out in the living room, and they spend the rest of the match roughly in the living room area.
Uh-huh.
This is when Tony grabs this table, a full size table, out from behind the couch,
This is
hidden
crazy. A folding table. Yeah.
hidden very well, actually. Like it was.
That part was also really funny with the dumbass commentary.
They're like, "What? Jay, did you put that table? No, I didn't put that table there.
Hey, why'd
Tony
you have a
must have
table in your
stashed that
living
here."
room? He probably hid it over there.
So fucking good, dude.
Again, between while all of this is happening, they're also just full force punching each other in the head,
Hmm.
and the commentary is just going, "Holy fuck!"
So Tony rips the wife beater off of Teddy and then like chops the fuck out of him, which I loved. Like it's like, all right, just rip like the wife beater ain't protected nothing from chops, brother. You don't
Oh,
have
but
to
he
rip it
blisters
off
him
of
with
him.
those chops.
Yeah, he does. And then they he grabs the chain that he was wearing around his neck when he came in, that they don't know where it came from on commentary because I guess they weren't paying a fucking attention. um, and he starts like choking him with it, and then he wraps the chain around his hand and starts punching Tony. And
Like
this is where he
brutalizing him.
this is where
Yeah.
he
It
dislocates his
sounds
fucking
gross, the chain
pinky.
on the head punches.
They talk about that on
Yeah, they're
commentary
like, "This
too.
is disgusting."
They're like, you've never heard like, like if you're in an arena and you hear somebody get punched, like it's not the same as what we are hearing right now because they're right in front of us and there is no other noise other than us, which is pretty real, honestly. And so he dislocates his pinky and they get like a really good, like really close up shot. And like, me personally, I have a messed up pinky on my left hand from football. And it does not look as bad as as his pinky looks here.
Yeah, when they zoom in is when he's like popping it back into place.
Yeah. It still looks
Oh yeah,
disgusting.
it's he legit dislocates his pinky, punching Too Tough Tony in the head with a chain wrapped
With a
around his
chain.
wrist.
Yeah, this is why you shouldn't use things to put around your hand or in your hand to punch people, it doesn't help yourself. Just punch them. Okay? That's your kid's lesson for this episode of File Under Fire. Is just punch them. Don't
Unless you're
try and
doing
use.
like Perito and you're wrapping a towel around your hand.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Or that's a Pero. Yeah, they did both Perito and Ferro Aguayo did that
Yeah.
with the shirts. they he dislocates it, and then Tony whacks Teddy's hand off the table, and goes over, grabs, I think, a bat. I think that's what he grabs. I'm not entirely sure. It kind of also looked like a juggling pin, which
I think they call
I,
it a bat.
I mean, the reason I thought it'd be funny is if it was a juggling pin, because Juggalo, Insane Clown Posse, you get it. Um, then he grabs the liquor, his lemon Bacardi, as they so
Yeah, they make sure to
nicely
specify.
specify. Yeah, he grabs that and takes a good nice swig of that, and then walks back over to the closet, grabs a set of crutches, and then instead of carrying them like a normal person, he crutches his way over back to Teddy and then
Yeah, for
grabs the.
why? I don't know why he crushes over.
I don't know, but he
Again,
grabs it
super
and
concussed. Mega
whacks him over
concussed.
it, whacks him with the crutch, and then he like hits Teddy, like, like goes like into the lower, like into the chest is what he's meant to do, and I think he hits him in the balls, because then you hear Teddy Hart go,
Yes.
"Oh, right in the balls, you dickhead!"
Yeah, and then he punches
yeah,
him in the face.
Yeah, and then he shoot punches him back in the face.
Yeah, he's rolling around like he really did get caught.
Punched in the dick. Yeah. And so then they roll around, and Teddy's way of getting back on top is just full on grabbing Too Tough Tony's dick until he falls back onto the couch. And then he drops an elbow onto Too Tough Tony's dick. There's a lot of dick in this episode. It drops an elbow onto him. Then crutch the shoulder, like, then he takes him down off the couch, does the moonsault off of the couch onto him for a 2 count. Then he whacks Tony's head off the table, and like he's choking him. And then this is like he goes over, grabs Tony's liquor, and he takes a drink and then spits it into Tough Tony's face. Too Tough Tony, by this point, by the way, looks
Like
mega
shit.
concussed. He
Uh-huh.
looks like he does
Yeah,
not
he's
know that
gone.
he is in Violent J's house.
There's one point, yeah, where he's just full on like eyes closed.
He's probably trying to sleep. He's tired.
And so then he goes over to the little side table where Tony had set his liquor, and he kind of like leans over it and like puts his like hands on it. And I wanted to note this because I wrote, is he praying or is he blading? I can't tell. Then he launches an umbrella at him, and when I say launches,
That
I
probably could have killed
mean
a man if that had a spike at the
he
end.
just like, yeah, he just throws it, and then he opens this fucking the closet, and you just see a arm stick out and goozle him, and
I
you don't
mean,
know whose arm it is until they walk out.
watch this match
and
while you're on psychedelics or acid or any drug you have, any available drug or substance. Be on it and watch it.
They say this is Evil Dead. I'm not a JCW guy. I don't know
Yeah.
if this is a JCW regular.
I don't know if there's.
I would
I
just
hope he's
assume
a.
that, but yeah, he looked real funny. And then
I hope he's a big fan of the movie.
the best part is after he hits this huge choke slam, for some reason he just like face plants on the couch and is just like laying there on the. I guess it sapped all his evil power.
I don't know if he was trying to like sink into the couch and look mysterious and then
It
roll
looked like he was
away.
trying to hide, but he's like 6'5",
Yeah, like
just
camera cuts
laying face
away.
down on a couch. Like, you're not gonna hide behind the cushions, dude. What?
And
I just
so
don't know.
so he chokeslams Teddy onto the table, and then you see Teddy lay there. You see Evil Dead fuck
And in a
around in the
blink of an
background.
eye, Too Tough
Too
Tony, like
Tough
a
Tony.
valiant fucking hero, has already doused his fist in alcohol, and he lights that bitch up. And he straight up clobbers. This is the best punch of the match. He clobbers him directly in the face and lights his face on fire. That's not a joke.
Yeah,
His face is on fire for a little bit.
and he fucking like whips his hand off, gets the 3
He's
count,
like,
and
"Fuck."
the last thing I wrote was, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
So I want everyone to know, I was gonna bring Kojima versus Fit Finlay.
Yeah,
I
that's the
was gonna
fucked up
bring
part.
like a catch wrestling thing. And then I saw this and I was like, if this counts, I have to
Bro,
bring this because this is just
that's
wow.
it's so fucking funny, cause like
I
you
am
you
toying
were
with the full 5 on this.
you.
I've never seen anything like this in my goddamn life.
I don't think you ever will again. I will
Yeah.
be honest. This has more in common with a backyard like car crash match
This is
than
like
Yeah, I
bullshit
did
is
when I
what it
sent
is.
it. I sent it to Ethan, and I said it was like a backyard match, but in Violent J's house with Teddy Hart. I mean, that's all you need
does
to
it?
know.
I was gonna say, does this count for the blog?
I wish.
This I
Would love
like.
to write about this, but what can you say? What can you
I
say?
mean, this. I guess if it doesn't count for the blog, this is about as close as you're gonna get to writing about it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, fuck it, dude. This is
Everyone should watch this. This is a hidden classic.
like we
The
said at the
best.
beginning.
Yeah, just like
Uh,
Big Togo and
le-
Atlantis. And I like it's so funny. Like we talked about that the Road Warriors, I mean not Road Warriors, the Hellraisers match last week and the Steiners, and how they respected each other, so they killed each other. This is like the crackhead version of that. Like instead of shaking hands, they share a blunt,
yeah,
and then they just kill each other.
yeah. You can't necessarily say the drug head version of this because I mean
Well,
Hawk.
they
Yeah,
probably had more expensive drugs. They were in the damn
Hawk or
dome.
oh yeah. I was gonna say Hawk or
This is the
Too
insane
Tough
clown
Tony and
posse headquarters.
yeah. I mean, people talk about some of the. I mean, the gathering is just a giant drug sharing party.
Yeah.
So, but hey, you know what? Like I said, this will likely be the only time we ever talk about Juggalo Championship Wrestling or Juggalos in general, unless we get to a point on this podcast where we're talking about like the Juggalo, like ICP on like
We're gonna
WWF or
get Shaggy Two
WCW.
Dope on here to talk about Vampiro.
He probably would. That's not a joke. I could probably DM Shaggy Two Dope and he would probably be like, "Yeah, sure. What do you
Do
owe
it,
me? How
brother.
much?
I
How
would
much?"
love to.
I don't know if I want to have a genuine
Yeah,
conversation
you
with
know what?
Shaggy
That's
Two
true.
Yeah,
Dope.
I'm
That's
scared now
these are
because what
shit
if that
bags.
actually fucking? What if that? Yeah.
This
We'll keep our. We
like
will
it's
not become clown
Juggalo.
affiliated.
Yeah, and we
Don't
will not be
worry.
down with the clown on this podcast. But for one night only, we will be at least entertained by what the fuck we just watched on Juggalo Championship Wrestling inside Violent J's house. Um, this is a match of all time. Uh, and I do think people need to watch it. I mean, I hate to recommend to people that they need to watch Juggalo Championship Wrestling, but I mean, if you were gonna watch any
Watch
of
it.
it, this might be the best option. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this is it. I think we've this might be when the promotion peaked, really. And
This
and
might
like
be
I
when
said,
wrestling peaked.
Yeah,
uh,
that's not crazy.
I mean,
That's not
listen,
ridiculous.
It's
think
the
about
best. Other than like Gentaro Ishikawa, this is the best pandemic match.
I was gonna say, think about all the shit ass wrestling that was happening in the pandemic, and then they're like no one even fucking is paying attention to JCW and this
They shouldn't.
crazy ass
They shouldn't be
bullshit.
paying attention to
No, they
JCW.
No,
shouldn't.
you never should. And again, right? Not an endorsement of these human beings by any stretch of the imagination, but
No, none. I
uh,
mean, I have no idea of Too Tough Tony. I don't know anything about him.
yeah, but the
He's
rest
really
of
the
them can eat shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Too Tough Tony could also eat shit. I don't know if he's a bad
Maybe,
person or not. Yeah. Um,
but he gave me a hell
he
of a damn thrill.
he gave an amazing performance.
Yeah,
And I hope his concussion that he 100% had was worth it. Um,
he was
he
glazed over so bad.
it is so bad. Um, moving on. Uh, Dom almost had a monkey point this week, but then he DM'd Cubs fan on Twitter,
And he
and
hooked me up. And
Cubs
that
fan
was so
came
cool.
through. So shouts out Lucha Blog, Cubs fan, great resource as always. Um, so no monkey points this week. You found some of them from last week, didn't you? I think
Yeah,
Abby.
I found like a couple. I managed to find basically everything on VK of Marcella's BJW stuff.
Yeah, and I know, like I was gonna say, I didn't Abby like come through with something. Oh, he came through with the. Because didn't you have the homicide and low key versus Necro and
Necro Butcher and
Toby
Toby
Klein?
Klein. I watched that. That shit was awesome.
Yeah. So Abby came through with that one too. We're good. We got it.
Uh-huh.
So no monkey points this week. Move to the cage match game. It is Abby's pick this week, right? I'm not crazy about that.
Yes, that is correct.
All right, I definitely wrote it down, but then I was like, I hope
Yeah.
I'm right. Um, the score currently sits as tied Dom 7, Obby 7, me 1. Once again, we still have yet to actually formally decide when this competition ends. Um, whether it's
I thought you
at
said we said
10.
when it reaches 15.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said, but I don't know if we said 10 or 15. But I mean, we can just settle
We
it. You want?
didn't.
Shit. We
It
did.
was
We
We
just
didn't.
like
All right, we didn't. Nobody. Yeah. That's right.
do we right now here live on air? Do we want to settle on 15? I'm
I
perfectly.
think 10 is probably good, but
I mean, it's
also
taken
it
us.
doesn't matter. It's like whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, it's all made up, and the points don't
Yeah,
matter. Um, yeah, I mean, so
but that would mean
yeah,
Dom
well,
could win tonight.
I was gonna say
Maybe.
if we do 10, that means Dom has a chance to tie it up tonight. Like he can put a bow on it, win tonight if he gets it on the either in the like the overall rating or the first review. Um, uh, which he's done before. He's got it on the first review before. That's how he jumped out to the big lead that he has.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did, didn't I? I forgot.
Yeah.
My fault.
But I mean, I'm okay with 10 because I mean, like I said, we've been doing this for what? This
yeah.
is like
We
the
can start over and Brady can get in the game.
Mhm.
yeah, sure. Well, maybe start over. That depends on how tonight goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have the
So
most epic
yeah, man,
epic
it'll be
comeback
the
ever.
epic comeback ever. Yeah, you
Gonna
guys
get
go scoreless for 3 weeks.
yeah, Sangre Chicana comeback incoming.
All right. Hobby, do you want to go ahead and give us the wrestler's overall cage match
I
rating?
do. So I did something weird. I have two here. I got to figure out which one I want to do.
What? You haven't even fucking decided?
Well,
Well, I did one. I'm
that's
trying
how
to
he's
just
keeping it like on our toes.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. I'm going to do. I'm gonna do the one that I think Brady has. Let's keep this going. Brady has. Okay. 8.18.
Oh my god. Um.
This is the hardest part, right? Just the
Yeah,
number.
it is. Yeah, for sure. That's why it's worth the most points.
This
Yeah.
is
But just thinking of a wrestler can be daunting at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is this Daisuke Sekimoto?
It is not. Good guess. Very good guess.
Daisuke's probably sitting there around at 8.
Yeah, I
He fe-
bet.
he feels like a 8 wrestler. Um. trying to like just go to my bag of like guys who I might think it could be. I'm just going Christopher Daniels.
It is not Christopher Daniels. Okay. Review number 1. Love this guy. He looks like a badass and has an old school aura around him. He also cuts pretty decent promos in English. His accent actually adds to them because he sounds menacing and right out of Scarface.
What is the overall, or not the overall, but the rating on
Oh,
this
this is a
review?
9. This is a 9.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. Good in English.
Um,
Oh, now I'm trying to think of like foreign
sounds
guys
like
who can.
Scarface.
I don't know if
There's
that's even necessarily true. I just thought that was a pretty decent like hint that he doesn't speak
Is
English.
this Carlito? I'm gonna sound so stupid.
That's
It
like
is not
crazy.
Carlito.
Is it Miro slash Rusev?
It is not.
Damn.
Okay, here we go. Review number 2. This is also a 9. One of the most natural Rudos of any generation. He is always locked in on his performances. His technical brawler style has almost no fat on the bone. He's a guy who always looks like he's trying to win his matches.
Is this
Major ring
Pareto?
presence. It is not.
Fuck!
Is it Roosh?
It is Roosh.
Oh,
Ah!
It is
Oh,
nice.
Roosh. That is 2 points for Dom.
2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me finish this one because I want to see if you would get major ring presence and physical charisma, luxurious hair.
Oh, see, but
A-
that's. Go ahead. Go ahead.
AEW Roosh is maybe
Mm.
75% of his power. Question mark.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Is like glorious hair. I still would have been on that Pareto
Yeah, yeah.
because like he
All of those, everything I said in that review
could
could
also
describe him.
apply.
Did he ever
Yeah.
cut a promo in English? I don't
I'm
know.
not sure, but I mean,
The last review was a 6, and it was a dude like saying he wasn't good enough to be ROH champion, which is stupid
fuck
as
out of
hell.
here,
Roosh is so fucking sick.
dude. I do love Roosh
Yeah, there
as
was
a.
another really good one, but it was too short. I thought to like be of any help, but it said the only person who can stand in his way is him.
That is honestly, that would have been
Yeah.
a great,
Although
great
I think
hint.
this the second one that Dom got it on is like a great rating.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's real. Like it is
Yeah,
it's a real description of him. I
yeah,
mean, he's just out there shoot punching guys on AEW TV, and
yeah,
then he like fucks his own time up
yeah.
basically.
And I've never been an AEW watcher, but I'm on record as saying like if they actually like push Roosh, I would definitely watch AEW.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
He's that good.
that's. I think he's that good. I think he's just stuck in luchador hell.
Yeah, I would be guy like me would be uh, Mark Briscoe and Roosh would be the stars of that program.
Bro, dude, could you imagine even like if you took one of like either of those, right? And like if you took Mark Briscoe and pushed him to like the world title scene right now and like just have him like wrestle a match against Moxley and just have Moxley kind of like throw him around for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes and then Mark fiery comeback, hits all his like weird strikes and shit. Jay Driller 1, 2, 3. That place would fucking erupt.
Yeah,
Even if he held the title for a fucking week, that
yeah.
place would go crazy.
It makes too much sense. Can you imagine a Mark Briscoe Roosh world title program?
Oh, dude, I
They've
mean,
got it
hey,
to do. I
Mark
mean,
Mark Briscoe
that's right there.
Mark Briscoe is after last weekend is now in my match of the year contenders with that match with Kyle Fletcher.
Oh yeah, I actually did. I do watch the Mark Briscoe matches, and that was a fantastic match. Again, they have
Yeah.
unbelievable
I really like
chemistry.
this
Great
Kyle
match.
Fletcher that he's like as he's been wrestling. I think
Yeah,
he's
I thought it was like gaslighting
hmm
when when people on
when
Twitter were
people were
talking
like
about
talking about it.
he's like good now. Not he's good now.
No, he figured it out. He's got the
Yeah.
like he knows how to be like the shit eating heel, and like I remember whenever like whenever what's his partner's name? Mark
Mark
Davis?
Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever he like got injured and they were like, "Oh, they're going to have to like force him to do the singles thing. He's a good tag act. Like I don't know if he's going to be good in the singles." And like him becoming a singles like wrestler was the best thing that could ever happen for that dude's career cuz now
Mhm.
he's not going to just be stuck in a tag team for the rest of his life
Yeah.
and like be an Osprey clone cuz he's like leagues better. He's so good.
Oh,
Um
easily. Yeah. No contest.
so yeah, now
Yeah,
post
I love
cage
that
match
match.
game, Dom is now at 9 points, Aubie at 7 points, me with my lone little single point that I had to do a kind of shitty tactic to get. um, so we have decided now. First to 10 wins. Dom obviously he's this kind of um, uh, it's my pick next week. So there's a chance he could Aubie could come back and win it
Fuck, I
over
gotta
him.
pick something again.
Well, yeah, so it's my pick next week.
Wait, it's your pick?
So,
I thought I won.
yeah, but that doesn't matter. We go
Oh,
in
that's not
order.
how it does.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
Hold
we
wait, this
up.
go.
whole time that's not how it's mattered.
Did you win? You got 2 points tonight. You're at 9.
N- I
Oh, you're
I
talking about the
No.
winner picks. No, we're just cycling, dude.
I thought this whole time the winner picked. Holy shit, that's on me.
we
All right.
we did talk about that like very early on. No, we've just been taking turns.
Yeah, I've just been doing it in like a circle order, so it's been Aubie, me, you, and then
Yeah.
after you, then Aubie, and then we
I
just
did not fucking notice. I truly thought that it was winner picked. That's
honestly,
all. Sorry, guys.
I do think winner pick would. I mean, we can talk about this later, but we don't have to discuss it on air. But I do
Yeah.
No,
think
Well, it
winner
yeah.
makes sense
pick
because you're getting points, so then you can
winner
Mhm.
have a
pick
week where like it's harder for you to get a point.
Yeah, winner pick would add a interesting thing in this. But hey, this is episode 12, which means we have made it through 3 total months of doing this podcast every single week. Obviously, I don't think it's been exactly 3 months because that's there's 4 weeks in a month, but that's not always exact math. Um, but it's still
Whatever. 12 episodes.
12 episodes, 3 months, every single week. Now, hey, we got a consistent upload schedule of doing this Sunday night, and y'all get to hear it on Monday mornings. So that's been a lot of fun. It has actually helped my schedule a lot doing this on Sunday nights instead of
Yeah.
uh,
It's good. It's good.
the Thursday that we were trying to do it on, or Wednesday. It was Thursday, Wednesday. I don't even fucking remember anymore. But this is it's been great. We want to give out Dude of the Week to Gio or Joshi Gio, whatever the fuck you want to be called, Gio or Gian. I think your legal name's Gianni, isn't it? Um,
What's his
Awesome.
correct? Give his social.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Hey, I tried to get Fooz's 2 weeks ago, and he
Oh
wouldn't he
yeah.
wouldn't he wouldn't give it up. I was just trying to get his legal name. Hell, he's an international man of mystery. Although he did post pictures of his tattoos on Twitter, so he's slightly more identifiable now.
Foos is so goaded.
He is. He posted that video about the tape that Bear or
Yes.
Joyful
Yeah.
Violence posted with Ayoko Amada. That shit. That first of all, that tape rips. The matches on it rip.
Uh-huh.
Love
Um,
Arshin is so good, man.
yeah, we got it, dude. Uh, I was thinking about it. I mean, we can talk about it more later, but I might figure out a way so I can talk about a Yoshida match next week
I would
because
love that. She's one of my favorites also.
I
I
think
love
Yoshida is
Mariko
is
Yoshida.
a is somebody that needs to be on the pod.
But no, we have a theme next week.
Oh yeah, you're right. We're doing
Yes, we
fucking
do.
Mania matches next
That's
week.
correct.
Yeah, so we did decide that already. Fucking completely forgot. Since Mania is next week, uh, I was initially I remember this now. Felt like we should have done it this week, But I
But this
realized that
Mania is like super late this year, right?
yeah, it's also the same weekend as Easter, which is kind of fucking crazy. Like to do Mania on Easter
Well,
weekend.
they're gonna bring out Vince like he is risen on the
Yeah.
cross,
Where's
Inoki
Sean?
style.
Where's Sean to do the Christ stuff when you need him? I guess.
Yeah,
Nah, he's
he's
sitting down in.
jerking
I
his
was gonna say he's
penis in
sitting down in
Orlando.
NXT making Snow Bunny storylines. Um,
Race Wars.
yeah, he. But yeah, it is kind of weird. Like I said, I wanted to do the Mania thing like the week before Mania, so that way like you can be like Mania brained. This way you're still gonna get that Mania thing around the Mania time, but you're gonna get it the day after WrestleMania. So we're gonna talk about three of our I don't know if we're gonna not favorite WrestleMania matches or just three fun WrestleMania
Yeah,
matches. I'm
I'm
probably
still toying with that one. I've
Mhm.
got ideas in both directions. Underseen
yeah
and underappreciated, or like Stone Cold
just
Classic.
yeah or no pun
Yeah.
intended on the Stone Cold Classic part.
Hey, hold on. They do two. Indeed, they do two nights of Mania.
Yeah, they do.
Should we do two? No, we can't do 2 weeks.
Fuck no, I am not doing two
Sorry, my bad.
episodes. I got
I'll
I
wear the hair shirt for that one. I'll
yeah
self-flagellate.
we're not I mean yeah if you want to watch both nights of Mania go right the fuck
Oh
ahead.
no, I
I'm
won't be watching any Nights of Mania. No,
That's
I
fair.
the
haven't watched a WWE match in. It doesn't matter. That's not like a badge of honor. I'm just not insane like
I
most
watched
people listening to this.
I watched a lot of like I've probably watched the most out of the three of us. I've watched most of the pay-per-views from
If you
this
tell
year.
me there's like a good Randy Orton match, I might peep that. What's he up
That's
to?
uh
fair.
I don't know. He was supposed to wrestle Kevin Owens, but
He's back on steroids,
Owens had to go get
which is
neck
awesome.
surgery.
Yeah, as God intended.
Yeah, so he had to go get neck surgery. So I don't know if
Not God intended neck
Randy's.
surgery. God intended steroids, guys.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I know there are Kevin Owens haters, especially after I bought that fucking Steve Erico match.
Oh God.
Um, Tom just got flashbacks.
No, I didn't think it was
PSD.
bad. I just don't like all that spit. That boy gotta stop spitting and shit.
They still spit. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Um,
Fuck, he's
but
gross.
yeah. So that's
What's the Nazi guy up to? What's
who's
his
the
name?
Nazi guy?
Gunther?
Gunther?
Yeah,
You mean yeah, Walter?
Oh.
yeah.
I was like, that's why I had to ask who's the Nazi guy. That's
Oh
that's
yeah,
a
that could
broad
be a lot of
statement when
people
you're
in that
talking
company.
about.
That covers a lot of ground.
Yeah. He's the world heavyweight champion. I think he has to wrestle Jey Uso or something.
Oh
Or
yeah,
one of
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, cool.
yeah. Yeah,
Good shit.
that's a match. And then I think Cena's wrestling Cody, I think. That's yeah.
Ugh, okay, great.
Fantastic. So yeah, next week we're gonna talk about Mania.
Better matches
If
than those.
significantly, that's if there's one
Even if I
benefit.
bring the stupid one I'm thinking of, it's a lot of fun.
If it's fun, I'll fuck with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you love this one, Dom.
Yep.
I mean, I have options, obviously, uh, and I might base it off of what Aubie picks too. I might like pick one of the ones that you've thought about and thought about bringing prior, and then I like said, hey, what if we just did a Mania one when
Yeah.
Mania comes around? And you were like, oh yeah, that's good. I'll save that.
Please do.
So yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll bring some cool Mania matches that, like you said, will 100% be better than probably every single match on this Mania card for this year.
I'm
And
probably
we
not
have,
watching that shit.
yeah, I mean, I'm busy Saturday night, and I'll be doing this podcast Sunday night, so there's a good chance I'm probably not doing that shit neither. um, but yeah, we'll have that next week. So get ready for Mania. Uh, if your favorite indie or the person you know that you like that runs an indie does is running an indie show in Vegas, watch it, support it, support the favorite wrestlers that are working in Vegas.
100%. Go watch Parm Singham versus Aries for the Dust
Yeah.
Pro. Go watch that entire Dust Pro show, by the way.
Yeah, just go
Please.
watch the whole
That
Dust
show
Pro
looks
show,
so
actually.
good from the card. God damn, it looks good.
That Mad Dog dog collar match is gonna fucking rock.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the good shows. I think all the Deadlock West Coast Pro stuff and all like the Prestige stuff, I think that all looks pretty good. Yeah, do support all that stuff. Don't just watch GCW because that's the one you know about. Dude, that's crazy. I just realized that. Did we just talk about Juggalo Championship Wrestling before we've ever talked about GCW on this show?
We will never talk about GCW. At least Juggalo Championship Wrestling is funny.
The immediate we will never fucking talk about that.
Never.
Dude, I don't know.
Unless we have Tetra on.
I have a soft spot for fucking death matches.
Well, having Tetra on just gonna be like, yeah, this match sucks, and this match sucks, and it's like I can already fucking tell that match sucked. You don't gotta tell me.
Nah, she'd bring a GCW match though.
Exactly, and it would suck.
That'd be strongest
GC,
soldier.
GCW
Please just watch this Joey Janela match. I swear it's good, bro. Get the fuck out of
Hey,
here.
what is it a GCW match where he goes off into the truck with Zandig, or is that CZW? I think that's CZW.
Did Zandig work GCW?
Joey Janela and
yeah, do you not know about that spot? Joey Janela and Zandig. Zandig like does the thing off of a roof into the bed of a truck.
Is that not Nick Mondo?
No, they redo the spot with Joey Janela.
They redo the spot with Joey. I had no idea about this.
I'll send you the clip.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, he almost kills Joey Janela because they do it onto a truck with like one of the ladder racks on it, and he almost whacks his fucking head off the rack. But
Jesus.
Zandig realizes he's gonna hit his head as he's falling, and so he because he's got him up in that driver position, like that back driver, and so he grabs Janela and tucks him tighter so that way he doesn't
kill him.
Doesn't kill him, yeah. So good guy Zandig, I guess. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to us ramble and talk about
Joey Janela.
And
for
Joe
too
Lotus.
long.
Yeah. We talked about a lot of things on this episode. Go watch all of these matches. Specifically, make sure you watch the good matches that while we didn't talk about them maybe as in depth as we talked about the Teddy Hart match, they are still worth watching, and I think you will be thoroughly entertained by both of them, especially if you love good fucking wrestling.
Uh-huh.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you all for continuing to support this podcast and being entertained by us listening or watching fucking wrestling each week. And we will see you guys next week with WrestleMania matches.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.